High school basketball time once again on Wabash Cablevision, Channel 23. Dan Ravelette, Brett Road, and Hank Lopez with you tonight to bring you all the exciting action between the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's and the Mount Vernon Wildcats in a Big 8 conference match here at Alice Arena. Lincoln band striking up a tune in the background. The Alice is just about ready to come on the floor. The Alice is coming into tonight's contest with an 8-2 mark on the year, and the Wildcats 4-6. Here come the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's and the Mount Vernon Wildcats. 8-2 on the season, 3-0 in Big 8 play. They are the leaders in the Big 8 conference right now, are the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. The Wildcats 1-1 in the Big 8. The Alice's defeated Jasper last time we were here by a narrow margin, the narrowest of the year, 35-34. But nevertheless, a victory for the Alice's. And my color man and statistician, Mr. Hank Lopez. Hank, good to have you back again with us this week, and looking forward to another exciting basketball game.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good contest between these two teams. Mount Vernon, as you see on your screen, they're not a real bad team, 4-6. They're probably better than what the record indicates, but they do have a couple big players inside. They're going to be without one of their players tonight. As we saw earlier, I think Kyle Funkhauser is out of the lineup tonight, and he averages around 10 points a game. I don't think he's dressed on the floor, but the player to watch tonight will be DeAndre Givens. Givens comes in averaging 15.9 a game, about 16 points. Last night in their contest, they were a winner, and Givens, I believe, poured in around 30 points last night. So he's a big inside threat. He likes to jump and get inside. And again, Hetty's going to have another big guy to go up against inside, as he did last week against Muhey Zinovich. Hetty kind of got shut down. I look for a big game from Hetty tonight. But DeAndre Givens is going to be a big inside force for Mount Vernon. But once again, the Alice has got to make better on their their shooting field goal percentage. We talked earlier, 30% is not going to win a whole lot of games, but we got lucky last week.
Sure did, Hank. You're right. 30% from the field, one of the poorest efforts for the Alice's on the year. And maybe they got that out of the way. And from now on, it's going to be 50, 60, 70% every game.
hopefully we can get that from the free throw line also. The free throw shooting, couldn't really get a good look at it last weekend because they didn't get to the free throw line as many times with the slow down pace of the game. But hopefully they can pick up on both ends of the shooting.
We had 6 free throws out of 11 attempts last week. That was the fewest attempts and fewest points from the line of the year, so we didn't get a good look last time, but hopefully the Alice's will be able to go to the line a lot more tonight, pick up a lot more points from the charity line. We also, Alice's cut down their turnovers again, I think, last week, so that's another hot spot for the Alice's.
Yeah, one interesting thing also about going into this game, I was looking at some of the stats of this contest and also from past games. Mount Vernon has never defeated Coach Gene Miller.
Right.
I believe he's about 17-0 against Mount Vernon since he's been here. So really, this is like Lincoln going up against Mount Vernon. And Mount Vernon and going into this game, they just really probably don't feel like they can win this game. They've never really beat Lincoln with Gene Miller as the coach. So really, Mount Vernon's got to kind of feel a little inferior tonight, and hopefully that plays in the Alice's advantage.
That's a psychological deficit against Mount Vernon. You're right. They've never been able to defeat Gene Miller in these Alice's, so why should they think they could do it tonight? Good point.
So.
Good point. Of course, we mentioned Gene Miller as head coach for the Alice's. Tom Kopatich is head coach for the Mount Vernon Wildcats. He has a 15-37 career record. And Lincoln JV again won very nicely over the Mount Vernon Wildcats JV. Final score there was 54-38. So head coach of the JV ball club, Don Alstott, is to be congratulated. And once again, we're going to try to get him up here after the game tonight for an interview. Now let's introduce you to the starting lineup for the Mount Vernon Wildcats. 4-6 on the season. 1-1 in Big 8 play. At one of the guard slots will be Brandon Gibbons. Brandon Gibbons, 5'8", 142-pound senior, averaging 6.4 points a game. And the other guard slot, it'll be a 5'9" junior, Bart Weber. Bart Weber, 5'9", 160-pound junior, averages 2.3 a game. At center, here's the man we've got to be keeping our eye on tonight, DeAndre Gibbons, 6'4", 182-pound junior, averaging 15.9 points a game. And Hank said he poured in 30 points last night. At one of the forward slots, Jeremy McAleer. He stands 6'3", with tips the scales at 177. He's a senior, averaging 4.2 a game. And the other forward, Teron Acuff, 5'9", 163-pound junior, averaging 10 points a game. So it's Weber and Brandon Gibbons at the guards, DeAndre Gibbons at center, the brothers, and Teron Acuff and Jeremy McAleer at forwards. head coach Tom Kopatich. And now for our hometown Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. I'm not sure, Hank, what we're ranked this week in the AP poll. Do you know?
No, I'm not for sure, but there has been a change in the lineup. I believe he's changed the three-guard offense, and Justin Lowe will get the start tonight. Probably well-deserved, and Lowe's part he's played so far pretty good in the last couple games.
He sure has really come along very well. Mark Beasley will be one of the guard slots for tonight for the Alice's. 5'9", 155-pound senior, averaging 6.2 a game. He had 5 points last Saturday night against Jasper. Mark Beasley at one of the guards. At the other guard, Clint Barmas. Clint Barmas, 6'1", 175-pound senior, averaging almost 11 points a game, 10.8 points a game. He had 9 last week against Jasper, and he has led the Alice's the last 3 games in scoring. So Barmas will start at the other guard slot. Justin Lowe will be at one of the forwards tonight, as Hank mentioned, getting a start for the first time this year. 6'5", 205-pound junior, averages 2.7 points a game. And the other forward slot will be Derek Cardinal. Cardinal, 6'2", 180-pound senior, averaging 9.7 a game, had 5 points last week against Jasper. And of course, at center, big 6'8", 200-pound junior Charles Hetty, averaging 19 points a game. He had 6 points last week against Jasper. So for Lincoln at guards, it's Clint Barmas, Mark Beasley. At the forwards, Derek Cardinal, Justin Lowe, and at center, big Charles Hetty. The Owls is 8-2 on the season, 3-0 Big 8 play leader in the Big 8 Conference, and head coach Gene Miller in his 16th year at Vincennes Lincoln, assisted by Doug Crook, Don Allstott, Steve Combs, and Tim Young. Game just about to get underway. Want to mention while we have a chance here, the managers for the Alice's include Jeremy Hilliard, Travis Carey, and Tom Elkin. The officials for tonight's contest, Danny Shields and Larry Decker. Both of those men are from Bloomington, made the cold, slick trip down here from Bloomington tonight to see the Alice's and the Wildcats match up here at the Alice Arena. Not a real large crowd on hand, but this kind of a night, you really can't expect too many. DeAndre Gibbons and Charles Eddy, they'll jump it up at the center circle to get the ball game underway.
One thing to notice, though, the change in Justin Lowe, hopefully that means the Alice's are going to try to bang it inside against the smaller Mount Vernon team. Mount Vernon doesn't go real big. DeAndre Gibbons only 6'4", their tallest guy.
And Hetty has it taken away by Bart Weber, and Weber sets it up for the Wildcats. Lincoln in a 2-3 zone defense to start the ball game out. Bounce pass taken away by Cardinal. Nice alert defensive play by Derek Cardinal. Mark Beasley ahead. Barmas wide open up, and that's good. Alice's waste no time picking up the first bucket of the night. Ball game just underway. A-Cup guarded and stepped on the line. Nice defense by Charles Hetty and the Alice's. Head coach Tom Kopatich off the bench quickly, telling his team to settle down right away. Barmas will inbound the ball for the Alice's. As mentioned earlier, he is the leading scorer the last 3 games for Lincoln. Trying to get it into Hetty, and that comes in really deep to Mark Beasley. He's picked up back there by Brandon Givens. Clint Barmas now with the basketball for the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. Over to Mark Beasley. Guarded by Brandon Givens. Back to Barmas in the paint. Stops. Looks back to Beasley. He has it. Fakes a 3, drives, then he shoveled his feet and traveled. 1 TO for the Alice's so far. Got to watch those.
Yeah, so far Mount Vernon's had the ball twice, 2 turnovers. Lincoln's had the ball twice. They got 2 points and 1 turnover. So I guess turnovers might be a factor, as they had in all the Lincoln games so far this year.
Bart Weber into A-Cup. He's double teamed in the backcourt. Back to Weber now on the far side. Bounces it ahead to A-Cup. He just got across the 10-second mark and stopped right there. Weber now with the ball for Mount Vernon Wildcats. Over to Gibbons. Now DeAndre Gibbons in the corner from brother Brandon Gibbons. Back to Teron A-Cup. Back to Gibbons. Jumper. No, too short. Hetty goes high for the board. Picks it off. Now gives it to Beasley. Down court quickly to Barmas. He wanted a 3. Didn't take it. Drives baseline. Lays it up and got it. 2 in a row for Clint Barmas. Lincoln on top quickly. 4-0. 6:40 remaining in the first quarter. And pressure forces another turnover for the Alice's. 6:42 remaining in the first quarter, and the Alice's on top 4-0. First substitution of the night, Jake Holsey will come in for Bart Weber. Holsey, 6 foot, 168-pound senior, averages 6.1 a game. Now man-to-man pressure being applied by the Wildcats. Last week we had the Jasper Wildcats. Now we have more Wildcats in here from Mount Vernon. Beasley with the ball across the 10-second mark to Derek Cardinal. Try to get it in the head. He can't do that. Bounces it intended for Lowe. Picked off and now picked up by Brandon Gibbons. He stops in the wing on the left side. Almost has it taken away by Beasley. Passes it to Teron Acuff in the wing on the left side. Guarded nicely by Charles Eddy. Good defensive pressure by the Alice's now. Lincoln holding a 4-point lead. Ball game just underway. 6:10 to play, first quarter. Pass goes to Brandon Gibbons. Left side. Looking for McAleer inside. Can't find him there. He has it to brother DeAndre Gibbons in the corner. Eddy with those big arms spread out. Looks like a big eagle over there. Baseline jumper. Good by Teron Acuff. Very nearly a three-pointer, but just inside the line. Lincoln on top 4-2. As Beasley brings the ball down court for the Alice's to Clint Barmas in the corner. Nice pass to Eddy underneath. Got it. Eddy with his first points of the night. Eddy averaging 19 points a game. Pressure on now against Gibbons. Bounces it ahead to Acuff. He's across the 10-second mark very quickly. Bounces it to Durande. Nice block. Ooh, almost a block by Lowe, but not quite.
Yeah, he might have got him a little bit on the arm there, maybe with the body.
Yeah, it's just very pretty.
Yeah, he's up there.
Big man, 6'5", 205-pounder, Justin Lowe. At the free throw stripe, DeAndre Gibbons, he is a 77% free throw shooter. 23 out of 30 from the stripe on the year. DeAndre Gibbons got the first one. 6'4", 182-pounder, averaging 16 points a game. Gibbons makes it a 6-3 Lincoln lead. Now cuts it down to 2 with his second free throw of the night. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. Eddy's pass comes into Justin Lowe. The big Twin Towers bring it in. Beasley now has it. Into Lincoln land to Derek Cardinal. Cardinal guarded by Halsey. Jumper at the free throw stripe. Pretty shot. Nice pretty shot by Derek Cardinal. His first bucket of the night. Pressure again being applied now by the Alice's against Teron Acuff. Gets it ahead to Halsey. Now to DeAndre Gibbons. He travels. Pressure forces a walking violation against Gibbons. Good pressure by the Alice's.
Yeah, one thing to look for, we mentioned how Mount Vernon kind of felt inferior. Well, the Alice's feel that Mount Vernon's that way too. As you can see, the Alice's shooting much better from the field.
The confidence you can really see is up. Beasley with the basketball for the Alice's into Lincoln land. Barmas now with the B-ball. Paint, jumps, pumps, too short. Eddy goes for the rebound. Got it, back up and in. Nice rebound and put back by Eddy. 10-4 Lincoln on top. 4:45 remaining in this first quarter. Pressure applied, bounces it away to Brandon Gibbons. Across the 10-second mark, still on the dribble. Stops, pumps, jumps. Got it. Pretty shot by Brandon Gibbons. 10-6 is the Lincoln lead now. Cardinal up too soft. Can't get the roll. McAleer pulls it down for the Wildcats. To Teron Acuff, down by 4 at the 4:20 mark of the first quarter. Acuff left side to Halsey. On the floor one time, back to Brandon Gibbons. He's directing traffic out there. Oh, Beasley or Barmas almost had a chance to take that away. Jumper by Acuff. In and out, back in, good. Acuff with his second basket of the night. Now it's only a 2-point Lincoln lead. 4 minutes to go first quarter. Lincoln on top 10-8. Eddy's pass comes in to Mark Beasley. He's across the 10-second line, guarded by Brandon and thrown out of bounds. Brandon Gibbons putting the pressure on Beasley, and Beasley throws the ball out of bounds. Wildcat basketball, 3:52 to go in this first quarter. 10-8 Lincoln lead. Teron Acuff has the basketball from Brandon Gibbons. Now taken away by Beasley. Ahead to Barmas. Clint has to run it down. He does in time before it goes out of bounds. Out to Bemis. Around to Cardinal. Up and pretty shot by Derek Cardinal. Not quite a 3, but a pretty shot anyway. 12-8 now. The Alice is on top. 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Good pressure applied by the Alice's on Brandon Gibbons. McAleer back to Gibbons, now to Acuff. Acuff on the dribble, guarded by Beasley. Brandon Gibbons on the far, or near side rather, to DeAndre Gibbons. It's hard to say, DeAndre. There we go, DeAndre Gibbons. Got it right that time. Acuff with the basketball now in the corner, guarded by Cardinal. Bounces it in. Nice one to DeAndre Gibbons. His first field goal of the night. He has 4 points, and now it's a 12-10. Lincoln lead, just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cardinals pass goes to Eddy. Fakes the pass, nice fake. Oh, goes high, low, up and good. Low goes high. Great rebound, a pretty basket, and he's fouled. Justin Lowe, nice shot. And he'll go to the free throw stripe.
Say what we got right now, 14-10. That's more than we had at halftime last week, I think.
I think you're right, Hank. Yeah, it was 14-14 halftime.
Yeah,
yep.
It was.
It's tied at halftime, 14-14 last week against Jasper. Justin Lowe at the stripe. A 85% free throw shooter. He shows it right there as he cans that when he made a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Foul called on Cardinal. Guarded too close that time. 15-10. Lincoln on top. 2:49 to go. First stanza of this Big 8 conference match. And here comes the first substitution into the lineup now for the Owls as John Hyden comes in. Hyden comes in, and Derek Cardinal will sit down. Hyden, 6'1", 180-pound junior, averages 5.2 a game. Jake Holsey inbounds it on a bounce pass to Teron Acuff, double teamed in the backcourt. And charging foul called against Acuff, and boy, Coach Kopatic does not like that at all.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with him on that one. That's, if anything, it's a foul on Hetty, but really that's a no call there. I mean, it's just some incidental contact. I'd be upset about that call too. It's a borderline call.
It's a sideline call. Hetty with the basketball. I agree with you, Hank. I agree with you. Hetty's pass comes into Beasy. Mark on around the far side now to Barmas. Beasy, Hetty. And Mark Beasy with the basketball to the bucket. Nice drive. He's fouled. Beasy taking the ball hard to the bucket. Draws a foul from the Wildcats. And the officials telling Coach Kopatic to sit down and be quiet or he will be teed. McAleer, his second personal foul, team's second. Or third foul on the team. At the line, Mark Beasy. Beasy, a 72% free throw shooter, 13 out of 18 on the year. Substitution now for the Wildcats. Charlie Seifert comes into the ball game for the Wildcats. He stands 6'1", weighs 203. And McAleer will get a seat with 2 fouls. So Beasy at the free throw stripe. Shooting 2. First one on the way. Too soft, no good. Not enough muscle, Mark. 5'9", 155-pound senior Mark Beasy. 5 points last week against the Wildcats of Jasper. And averaging 6.2 a game. Too hard this time. Couldn't get either one of them to go. Rattles around, bounces out. Taken away nicely by Barmas to Hetty. Hetty to the bucket. And he traveled, I think. Yep, he traveled. Shoveled his feet before he took the ball to the floor and called for a travel. 15-10, Lincoln on top. 2:27 to go, first quarter. The Owls and the Mount Vernon Wildcats. Ball comes in to Brandon Gibbons. He's tied up in the corner. Can he get it away? He does. To Acuff. Ron Acuff across the 10-second mark into Wildcat territory. He'll stop over there, guarded closely by Mark Beasy. Halsey with the ball down low to DeRondre Gibbons. Up and no. Battle for the ball underneath. It's loose. Halsey has his shot nicely crammed by Charles Hetty. Hetty had a cram sandwich.
I'm not sure Halsey knew what to do with it. He just kind of threw it up, and Hetty was upset that he didn't get the rebound, so he just threw it into the cheerleader section.
Acuff brings it in deep to Brandon Gibbons. Picked up by Mark Beasy. Bounce it into Halsey. He's to the bucket. Puts it up. No good. Rebound. Clint Barmas of the Owls. He's on the way behind the back. Loses the ball momentarily. It's loose. And Hetty has it on the floor. It is dual possession. And the arrow will point to the Owls. The Owls will maintain possession with 1:47 to go in the first quarter. 15-10. Lincoln with a 5-point lead.
Yeah, it's a little sloppy right now, but in the turnover category, Mount Vernon has 5, Lincoln has 4, so it's a little sloppy, but the Owls need to get some better shots on offense right now.
Hetty smiled about that, too. He gets it into Beasy. And he's across the 10-second mark to Clint Barmas with a pass. Barmas to Hyden. John handles the ball for the first time tonight. Hetty down low to the bucket, hard up and good. Great move by Hetty. That was a power move underneath. 17-10, Lincoln now on top by 7. Acuff's pass comes in to Brandon Gibbons. Now back to Teron Acuff. Nice bit of dribbling through traffic into Wildcat land. On the dribble, doesn't want to give it up now after that bit of dribbling. Brandon Gibbons, 4-3, no. Hetty has it off the glass. Beasy ahead too low, low, off the glass and good. Good ball movement by the Alices. 19-10. Taken away by Beasy. Up and good. No. Hetty has it. Back up and good. Hetty has 8 points in the first quarter. Under a minute to go in the first period. 21-10. Lincoln with an 11-point lead. Acuff has the basketball, but still in Lincoln territory. Knocked away. Picked up by Hetty. Up and good. Charles Hetty, 10 points in the first quarter. Acuff ahead. Taken away by Lowe. And it goes out of bounds. And looked like DeAndre Gibbons tripped Lowe, but Gene Miller didn't get the call. 23-10. Lincoln on top by 13 with 34.2 seconds to go in this first quarter.
And what, they've had a nice little spurt there, about 10 points in a row unanswered.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Teron Acuff gets it in to Weber back in the ballgame now for the Wildcats. They're going to play for one final shot in the first quarter. Bart Weber.
Probably just holding the ball so Lincoln doesn't get it back and score any more points.
Probably, you're right. Hank was telling me before the game started, Weber was the quarterback this past season for the Wildcats. And Acuff was a great running back. They're bouncing the ball back and forth now. Oh, down low, nice pass. The open man, Charlie Seifert, he puts it in. 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. 23-12, Lincoln on top. Barmas with the basketball. 5, Hetty top of the key, down low to Lowe, and off Lowe's fingertips and out of bounds with 2.2 ticks to go first quarter. 23-12, Lincoln on top. Pressure now applied against Jake Holsey. Will try to inbound the ball. He gets it into Acuff, and Acuff is content to let it go out. That's the way the quarter ends. Lincoln Alice's with a nice lead over the Mount Vernon Wildcats at the end of the first quarter, 23-12. Be back in 60 seconds on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Image is everything. One chance for a first impression. Make the right decision. Ewing Printing at state of the art, utilizing a 6-color press that shows all colors and is put before the job is printed. Our color copier prints variable image sizes, picture perfect. In-house graphic design, a Linetronic color separator. Ewing Printing is the area's licensed printer to print doctor prescription pads. Ewing, because image is everything. We've been satisfying the world's best critics for over 20 years.
So, my car's ready to be picked up, huh?
That's right.
Can't tell where I got hit, huh?
No, sir.
Good as new, huh?
Yes, sir. Good as new.
Well, it was right over here, right? Let's see, it was on the... Good as new, huh?
That's right. Good as new. Bring your Rex to Rex. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Rex's Body Shop in Vincennes.
As we head into quarter number 2, here's Mr. Hank Lopez to tell you how the scoring went in quarter number 1.
All right, scoring. The Alices were led by Charles Hetty. Hetty had 10 points. Barmas had 4 points. Derek Cardinal had 4 points. Justin Lowe surprisingly had 5 points. Did a great job in his first start of the year for the Alices. For Mount Vernon, DeAndre Gibbons had 4, along with Teron Acuff had 4. 2 points for Charlie Seifert and also Brandon Gibbons. So the Alices take the first quarter lead 23-12, and it's nice, Dan, to see the Alices start out this way.
It sure is. When you look back at last Saturday night's game against the Jasper Wildcats, a 14-14 halftime score. Beasy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nothing.
Beasy committed a personal foul, his first foul of the night. Both teams now with 3 team fouls here in the first half. Seifert's pass goes to, no, check it, that's Weber's pass, is taken away by Beasy. Mark looks ahead down to John Hayden. Hayden almost traveled, to Barmas. Nice shot by Barmas. Pretty shot by Clint Barmas, his 6th point of the night. And Lincoln picks up in the second quarter where they left off in the first quarter. Weber crosses the 10-second stripe to Acuff, now to Holsey, down low to DeAndre Gibbons. Nice block. Ball taken down by Justin Lowe. Beasy, Hetty stops, who wanted a shot and smiled because he didn't take it. Hayden turns around, puts it up too hard, no good. Acuff dribbles against Barmas, we're across the 10-second stripe, jumps, pumps, and got it. Pretty shot by Teron Acuff. He has 6 points on the night. 25-14. Lincoln with an 11-point lead back again with 6:45 to go in this first half. Justin Lowe with the ball. Back to John Hayden. Hayden called for a travel. 6:41 to go in the first half. Lincoln 25. Mount Vernon 14. Last year, the Alices defeated Mount Vernon by the score of 73-37. Gene Miller overall is 363 in his career, 363 victories, 134 losses. Here at Lincoln, he's 278 and 94. Ball almost taken away. Gives it to Weber now. On the dribble. Into Seifert in the corner. 25-14 long pass cross court to Acuff. Too hard, no good. Hetty goes high for the board to Mark Beasy. Beasy looking ahead down court. Nice dribbling by Beasy and a foul called on Weber. He can't believe it, but it's true. 6:14 to go. First quarter. 25-14. Lincoln on top. Hetty will inbound the ball. The 19th time these two teams have met. And it's a 17-1 win record for the Alices. Hetty comes into Barmas with the basketball. In the corner to Beasy. Three-point land. Beasy can fire from three. Doesn't, though. Barmas will. No, he won't. Hayden will. No, he won't. Beasy fire that. There we go. In and out. No good. Tip up by Lowe. Nice rebound by Lowe. Up and good by Lowe. Lowe has his 6th point of the night. And a whistle underneath. And a foul being called on Charles Hetty, I believe. I think the Alices really wanted to fire that three. Somebody wanted it last time.
I don't know if they wanted to. They just seemed to pass it around outside. But it's nice to see Justin Lowe step up, playing real well for the Alices tonight. A lot of people surprised probably to see him in the starting lineup. They changed from the three-guard offense, but Lowe's shown why he needed to be in the starting lineup.
You're absolutely right, Hank. I like to see those two big guys in there, Lowe and Hetty. Long pass to Seifert. He passes it to Hetty. Charles brings it back down court to Mark Beasy, ahead to John Hayden. Hayden out in three-point land, way out NBA range. Hetty has the basketball now for the Alices. He's in three-point territory. Mark Beasy down low in the corner to Hayden. Around the horn to Barmas. Into Lowe. Lowe is tackled underneath, and a foul called on Seifert. 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go first half. Lincoln 27. Mount Vernon Wildcats 14. Derek Cardinal gets ready to come back in for the Alices. And here he comes now. Cardinal will come in for Clint Barmas. Barmas leads the first half with 6 points. Nice effort by Clint Barmas. Barmas does so much more, though, than just put points on the board. He's a great offensive and defensive player as well.
Well, last week when we were talking about when the Alices needed points, he stepped it up and gave him points.
Ball comes in to Beasy. Back to John Hayden now. Hyde looking to Hetty. He has him to the bucket. Hey, crabs it! Hetty, tired of messing around, put one through. Slammer jammer, Charles Hetty. Put it in, 29-14. And a foul called on the Alices as the Wildcats go down 4. Called on Beasy. So I think the official really wanted to slow things down.
Man, I knew Hetty could dunk, but I thought he had to be out in the open. I didn't know he'd dunk over somebody.
I didn't either. I
Oh,
was going to lay it off the glass real gently, and no, not Charles.
Man.
Pretty play. Okay. Holsey gets it in to Weber. Over to Seifert now. Bounces it back to Acuff. It's a 29-14 Lincoln lead. 4:56 to go. The first half taken away by John Hayden. Hayden looking. Takes it all the way, coast to coast, up and good. He's fouled. Okay, Hayden puts 2 in, and he'll go to the free throw stripe for 1. Hayden, a 59% free throw shooter, 6'1", 180. Had only 2 points in the game last week against Jasper, but high point man last week was Barmas with 9.
10 turnovers right now for Mount Vernon, so not doing a great job. But the Alices have 6, but they've been able to overcome their turnovers. Mount Vernon just can't commit this many turnovers.
John Hayden at the free throw stripe. Great quarterback last season for the Alices football squad. Puts it up and got it to go. 32-14. Lincoln on top. 4:50 to go first half. Brandon, he double dribbled but wasn't called. Brandon Gibbons passed it ahead to Acuff, to Ron, to Halsey. Ball's loose. Derek Cardinal goes high, pulls it down. To Mark Beasy now. Beasy comes in Lincoln land. John Hayden baseline. Into Low, up and no. Rebound, Seifert ahead to Acuff. Crosses the 10-second mark. 4:25 to go. First half, 32-14, Lincoln on top. Brandon Gibbons passes it out to Acuff. To Ron Acuff with the basketball. Round to Seifert. Charles Seifert between the circles goes to the left side now, picked up by John Hayden. To Brandon, and a whistle away from the ball, and a foul called on Justin Lowe, I believe.
Yeah, Lowe, one thing about Lowe, he is pretty physical inside, and He was caught in there just laying on top of DeAndre Givens, not letting him move around. Really, the Allison did a great job shutting him down. Only 4 points. 2 of those are from the free throw line, so really he hasn't really got into the groove at all.
Lowe actually the heaviest man on the team at 205. Hedges is even 200. Ball comes in to DeAndre Givens, up and in and out, no good. Rebound, Cardinal high for the rebound. To Mark Beasley, ahead to Hayden, back to Lowe, nice pass, great play! Beautiful play by the Alices. Moving that ball very effectively. Didn't touch the ground one time, did it, Hank?
That's the kind of drill you work on. You work on the three-man weave and long outlook up to Hayden. Hayden does a great job of passing it, finds Lowe. And Lowe's really stepped up and played great this game. He's got 9 points.
Lincoln now with a 20-point lead, 34-14, 4:01 to go, first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Be right back here with more great action on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Snyder's Body Shop. We've been in business for over 25 years because we care about our customers. Whether it's spot repair or complete paint job, choose glass red colors to guarantee the best possible finishes.
Snyder Body Shop. When you care about your car, we're your next stop. We care, and we show it at Snyder Body Shop. We care, and we show it.
Snyder's Body Shop. We take the dents out of accidents.
Taco Rail.
Just one taste, and you'll know that we're the place.
At some restaurants, you have to try almost every item on the menu to find one that tastes great. But at Taco Rail, everything we serve is prepared to perfection. Just one taste of one item at Taco Rail will have you saying everything is great. That's right, Taco Rail. At the corner of 6th and St. Clair in Vincennes. Taco Rail. Just one taste.
Stripe, Justin Lowe, too hard, no good. Whistle underneath and a foul called against Derek Cardinal of the Alices for pushing off. Lincoln enjoying a 20-point lead here in the first half. 4:01 to go in the first half. And Daniel Cleveland comes into the ball game as Justin Lowe sits down and the fans give him a well-deserved round of applause. Great job first half for Justin Lowe. 9 points in the first half. At the free throw stripe, shooting 1-1 is Jeremy McAleer. He's a 67% free throw shooter, 6 out of 9 on the year. McAleer puts the first one through with no problem at all. He's a 6'3", 177-pound senior, averages 4 points a game. 4.2, his second shot up, too soft, no good off the front of the iron. And Beasy hauls it in for the Alices. Under 4 now to go, first half. Hayden with the basketball for Lincoln. Has it swatted away by Acuff, and the battle is on. Hayden wins that battle. Mark Beasy around to Charles Heddy. To Cardinal, has it knocked away briefly, picks it up, puts it back in. Good fighting there by Derek Cardinal. 36-15 now, Lincoln on top as Acuff goes coast to coast, loses the handle on the ball. Cardinal has it, bounces it away to Dan Cleveland. He's tied up by Acuff, and that time the Alices will give the ball back. 3:32 to go in the first half. Here comes DeAndre Givens. Haven't seen him for a while. Kind of surprising. He's averaging 16 points a game. I think it's the first time I've seen him in the second quarter tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been in, but really the problem for Mount Vernon is not only the turnover factor, but also it's hard to play the Alice's man-to-man. Well, now that I say that, they switched up into his zone. but the man-to-man's been killing him.
Sure has. Cardinal baseline. Nope, gives to Cleveland. Now back to Cardinal. Baseline jumper this time. It goes in, and 3-second violation called against Charles Heddy in the lane.
That's one of those that happens almost every time down the floor, but
yeah,
it's just once in a while whenever the ref decides to call it.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to look around very much, he just keeps his eye on one spot. Gibbons has the ball knocked away and taken away by Dan Cleveland. John Hayden to Mark Beasy now. Derek Cardinal with the basketball for the Alices across to John Hayden. 3-point land. He'll fire from there. Got it. Nope. Says he's on the line. Only a 2, but still a pretty basket. Hayden now has 5 points. And Brandon Gibbons down court to Teron Acuff. 38-15. Lincoln on top with 2:50 to go in the first half. Acuff's jumper from the free-throw stripe. Nope. Won't roll. And Brandon Gibbons dishes off to brother DeAndre Gibbons, and he slams it home. Wasn't quite as exciting as Heddy's. Cardinal has the basketball for the Alices. To Beasy. 38-17. As Beasy directs traffic, he's yelling at Derek Cardinal. Now Hayden wants to know what the play is. Over to Cardinal with the basketball. Derek has it to Daniel Cleveland, around to John Hyden. Gets around Acuff to the glass, and he's fouled from behind. The ball goes 25 feet in the air. He slammed it, but not to the basket.
Yeah, but that's what I like to see out of John Hyden. Hyden didn't get the start tonight, but he's one of those scrappy players. He's real aggressive, handles the ball well, drive, go inside and rebound. And really, Dallas is a totally different team than what we saw last weekend. They've already equaled the points total they had last weekend, or already surpassed it, rather. But the Allisons played a lot better this week than they did last week. But also the competition's not there. But it's nice for the Allisons to play a nice game.
John Hyden is a 59% free throw shooter. Has it perfect so far from the stripe. 2 out of 2. 6 points on the night. Over his average of 5.2. Hyden, a 6'1", 180-pound junior, fires the second one. Got it again. Pretty shot by Hyden. You kind of get the feeling the Allisons really are in the swing of things tonight. Acuff with the basketball for Mount Vernon. Crosses the 10-second mark with 2:10 to go in the first half, down 40-17. His pass comes back out to Brandon Gibbons. Now back to Acuff on the near side. In the wing, right in front of Coach Gene Miller. In the black suit, kneeling down. And a pass underneath. Offensive foul called against DeAndre Gibbons.
Yeah,
pushing off on Hetty.
Yeah, exactly. He posted up inside. And when the ball comes in, you kind of try to take up a little more space playing inside the post, and gave Hetty a nice little shove. But the thing about that is it's going to hurt them because they're going to be in the bonus now.
Right, when the Allisons are in the bonus now. And looks like it will be Daniel Cleveland at the free throw stripe. Cleveland is an 80% free throw shooter, 8 out of 10 on the year. He'll have a 1-and-1 here. Lincoln on top, 40-17. 1-and-1 for Daniel. 6'4", 185-pound senior.
It makes them both of them.
Yeah. Taking some junior courses and some senior courses. It's a junior. Cleveland's second shot from the stripe. Nope, too short, no good. Rebound, Brandon Gibbons. Ahead to Teron Acuff in the wing on the near side. The free throw stripe, Brandon Gibbons takes it in the paint, has it blocked nicely. It's dual possession, and the ball goes back to the Wildcats with 1:50 to go in the first half. Lincoln 41, Mount Vernon 17.
Well, the reason this game really has been the blowout that it was is that little 10-point spurt that we were talking about in the middle of the first quarter that really hurt them. And there's another turnover for Mount Vernon.
Taken away again. This time the ball comes this way to the Allisons. Great defensive pressure applied by the Allisons tonight. I think it's much better than last game against Jasper.
Definitely.
But as you said, Hank, the competition is different, but you can see a more intensive play by the Allisons tonight. Barnes' pass goes back to Hyden. And Hyden dribbles one time, back to Clint Barmas now. John Hyden with the basketball to the basket. Nice move, up, no good. Cardinal has the rebound, and he'll be called for traveling. Yep, I thought so. He couldn't come down and control it cleanly, and the Allisons fans don't like that call real well.
Yeah, the problem with that, though, was him and John Hyden were both fighting over the ball, and that kind of hurts because they were both fighting over the ball, shoving each other, and the Cardinal comes down and can't get both feet. But that's good hustle on the Allison's part.
Sure was. Teron Acuff crossing the 10-second mark against John Hyden. Stops there. Passes cross court to Brandon Gibbons. Brandon and DeAndre, brothers on this Mount Vernon basketball squad. Acuff bounces one time to Seifert. Three-pointer, too short. Barmas and Seifert fight for it. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Mount Vernon ball with 1:06 to go first half. 41-17. Lincoln enjoying a nice lead here in the first half. Acuff looking to get it in. It comes in deep to Brandon Gibbons. Under a minute to go now in the first half, and
exactly. I was watching that down there. Derek Cardinal, DeAndre Gibbons, both of them kind of threw an elbow at each other, and they're going to call a double foul.
The Cardinal, pretty physical ball player.
Oh, yeah, Cardinal's not going to take much off anybody, and I think Gibbons kind of leaned into him, and they both threw an elbow at each other. It's going to be a double foul.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Well, it's not that the refs can call it and try to keep this game in control.
Exactly. They need to. They know that, yeah.
I've seen a few games this year have been a little out of control, and duly most of the parts the refs' fault.
Danny Shields and Larry Decker are the refs tonight, both of them from Bloomington. Holsey with the basketball. Nice takeaway by Charles Henny. To head to Cardinal. Dunk it. Nope. He slams it anyway off the glass. Cardinal has his 8th point of the night. Got his revenge anyway. 43-17. 40 seconds to go first half. Acuff tried to get it away. Now he does to Brandon Gibbons in the wing right in front of Gene Miller. 35 seconds to go. First half. 43 Lincoln, 17 Wildcats. Off the fingertips of Seifert. Out of bounds to the Alice's with 27.8 seconds to go. First half of basketball here at Alice Arena, home of the Alice's.
Mount Vernon's only scored 5 points in the second half.
Wow.
They had 12 at the end of the first quarter. Now they only have 17, and we're 25 seconds left to go. They may not get another chance.
That's a testimony to the tough Alice's defense. Barmas and Lincoln is going to hold for one final shot here in the first half as the clock winds down to 12 seconds to go in half number 1. Down to 10. Cardinal has it almost knocked out of bounds. Passes it to Barmas. He's wide open for 3. Oh, doesn't get it. Too wide open, maybe. Ahead to Brandon Gibbons. Gibbons dishes it off to DeRondre Gibbons, and he slams it home just as the first half comes to a close. As the first half ends, the Alice's pick up 20 points in the second quarter and lead by the score of 43-19.
The secret to any successful recovery is to have professional care you can count on. Our goal is to provide you with full recovery from your injury. Vincent's Orthopedic has established a reputation to properly assist you with your injury, specializing in therapy that will recover you back to normal. Vincent's Orthopedic Sports Medicine Center will utilize the proper exercises for faster recovery. Take it to the professionals at Vincent's Orthopedic, located at 1019 Bayou Street, Vincennes.
Do you know me? You're never at home without walking all over me. Your kids abuse me. Oh, sure, you've been generous to me by showering me with mud, salt, gravy, spilt milk.
If your carpet is screaming retirement, then you need a trip to M&S Floor Covering. M&S is your Philadelphia and Cornet dealer. With many colors and fibers to choose from, you should choose M&S Floor Covering, located at Upper 11th and Hart in Vincennes.
Oh, no, not a puppy.
Sean Klump with the basketball for the Vigo Bulldogs as they set it up. He's guarded by Aaron Kitzman. Shot a little bit too short. He has his rebound back, though. Kitzman with the basketball. Gives it to Brillhart. John goes to the baseline, up off the glass, and got it. So John Brillhart scores the first points for the night for the Vigo 2 Bulldogs. Now here comes Cody Malott down the floor for Tecumseh Harrison 2. He'll give it to John Yoakum. Yoakum bounces it back to Malott, and he passes it off to Micah Davis. Davis almost has it taken away. He's guarded by Aaron Kitzman. And Kitzman's pass comes to Malott. His shot won't go down. Rebound by Sean Klump of Vigo 2. Down ahead to Jake Lau. Lau loses the handle on the ball. Picked up by Cody Malott. Given up to John Yoakum now. Yoakum for Tecumseh Harrison 2. Vigo ahead by 2 by 1 bucket. Yoakum to the basket, and whistle and a foul called on the Vigo Bulldogs. Not sure who it was called on, but it'll be Tecumseh Harrison's ball out of bounds with 4:40 to go in this halftime game. John Yoakum ready to take the ball out of bounds. Yoakum looking to get it in, and he comes in to Philip Ray. Ray on the dribble against Aaron Kitzman. Nice dribble by Ray, and a nice block by Kitzman. Here come the Bulldogs down the court. Sean Klump with the basketball for Vigo. Sean Klump goes to the far side of the court, looking to pass it away, and he gets it down low to Brillhart. Brillhart off the glass again, and good. 2 buckets in a row by John Brillhart. Brillhart has a brother who plays the JV squad for Lincoln High School. Cody Malott dribbles across the time stripe, taken away by Brillhart. John Brillhart all alone comes down the floor, stops, and he travels. A little bit of travel there by Brillhart. 3:52 to go in the game as the Bulldogs still on offense. It's Sean Klump, Jake Lau, Aaron Kitzman, John Brillhart, and Jordan Ravelette for the Bulldogs. Here comes John Yoakum on the dribble for Tecumseh Harrison 2. Bulldogs on top 4-0. John Yoakum, nice bit of dribbling. Has it knocked away by Brillhart out of bounds to Tecumseh Harrison. 3:25 to go in this 6-minute game. John Yoakum looking to get it in. He does. No, throws it out of bounds. It'll be given away to the Tecumseh Harrison, Vigo Bulldogs with 3:14 to go in the game. And they need somebody to help take it out. Now Brillhart comes back and takes the pass from Sean Klump. Gives the ball back to Sean Klump. And Klump crosses the 10-second line for Vigo. He comes to the bucket all the way. Nice shot by Klump. Good! Sean Klump has 2 points on the night. 6-0, and now the Bulldogs with a complete new team. It's Will McKinley, along with Isaac Fletcher, Derek Cox, and Jimmy Hans. Shot up, no good. Rebound by the Bulldogs, but Andy Richardson and Derek Cox both got the ball, but they traveled. John Nocum ready to take it out for Tecumseh Harrison, 2. Slaps the ball, looks to get it in. He does, gets it in deep to number 44, Tal Bartlett. Back to Yoakum. Nice shot by Yoakum, a little bit too short, though. Ball's loose, and it's tied up by number 50, Isaac Fletcher. Isaac Fletcher, and I believe that was Tal Bartlett, tied it up. 2 minutes to go in this basketball game, and here comes Isaac Fletcher with a pass from Andy Richardson. Fletcher all alone at the free throw stripe. He pops it from there. Good shot by Andy, or rather Fletcher. Isaac Fletcher for 2 points. Great shot by Fletcher. So Tecumseh Harrison down by 8 at the hands of the Vigo Bulldogs. On top 8-0. Here comes Cody Malott to the basket. Nice shot by Malott. He has 2 points. First 2 points for Tecumseh Harrison. Here comes it on a pass from Andy Richardson to Isaac Fletcher. He crosses the 10-second mark into Bulldog territory. Back to Will McKinley. McKinley to the bucket. Passes around to Fletcher. He passes, tried to pass it back out. Now he does to Will McKinley. To Fletcher again. McKinley on a nice bounce pass from Fletcher. Nice off the glass and good by McKinley. Will McKinley has 2 points. 10-2. The Vigo Bulldogs on top as the ball goes out of bounds off the fingertips of Micah Davis. It'll be Bulldog ball with 1:05 to go in the halftime elementary school game. Pass comes in from Andy Richardson to Isaac Fletcher. Under a minute to go now in this game. Fletcher around with a pass to Derek Cox. Derek almost shot. Now to Andy Richardson. Up and no good. Rebound is off to Cody Malott. Cody Malott guarded by Isaac Fletcher. Nice bit of dribbling by Malott. Down to the baseline. He passes it back to Philip Ray. Ray is triple teamed underneath. Lets it fly. Too short. No good. And the ball is loose. Picked up by Fletcher. Isaac on the dribble for Vigo. Kelly Brashear really coached these boys well. Fletcher shot up and good again. Isaac Fletcher has 4 points on the ball game. 12-2, Vigo 2 lead. Coach Brashear with a big smile on his face on the bench. John Yoakum, 3-pointer on the way. Can John get it? He got it! John Yoakum had a 3-pointer. Pretty shot by Yoakum. 10 seconds to go in the game. Fletcher with a dribble. Pass to Andy Richardson. Almost taken away by Yoakum. Richardson fires one up. Too short, no good. And that is the end of the game. Vigo 2 Bulldogs defeated the Tecumseh Harrison 2 Eagles by the score of 12-5. Let's give you all the names real quick of the boys as they file off. For Vigo 2, it's Derek Cox, Will McKinley, Jimmy Hans, Andy Richardson, Aaron Kitzman, John Brillhart, Sean Klump, Jordan Ravelette, and Isaac Fletcher. For Tecumseh Harrison, Philip Ray, Micah Davis, Cody Malott, Dean Newell, John Yoakum, Dean Weininger, Aaron Phillips, Casey King, Tal Bartlett, and Kaheem Jones. The officials for tonight's contest were Bill Gentry and Chris Hilliard. Coach of the Vigo 2 team, Kelly Brashear. Coach of the Harrison 2 team, Chris Rhodes. We are at halftime where the Lincoln Alice is on top of the Mount Vernon Wildcats by the score of 43-19. Be back in 60 seconds on Wabash Cablevision, Channel 23.
Your local internet provider is Data Depot. Click your way through the internet to get up-to-date sports scores, business information, stock market reports, and more. So go online today with Data Depot. We build computers built to your specific needs, and we have the accessories to go along with it, like printers, learning discs for kids, CD-ROMs, and more. When it comes to price, selection, and quality, Data Depot is your choice for today's technology.
Okay, we're back with about 1 minute before we get into the third quarter. Second half action. And Hank, do you have some stats ready for us, bud?
All right, scoring in the first half of play. The Mount Vernon Wildcats were led by DeAndre Gibbons. Gibbons had 3 two-point field goals, 2 of 2 from the free throw line for 8 points. Teron Acup had 3 two-point field goals for 6 points. Then it drops off from there. 2 points for Brandon Gibbons and 2 points for Charlie Seifert. And Jeremy McAleer was 1 of 2 from the free throw line for 1 point. Only 19 points in the first half for Mount Vernon. The Owls had some great play by Charles Teddy. Had 12 points, including a spectacular dunk over one of the Mount Vernon defenders. Justin Lowe with 9 points in the first half. Played a great first half in his first start of the year for the Owls. 7 points for John Hayden. 8 points for Derek Cardinal. 6 points for Clint Barmas. And 1 point for Dan Cleveland. The Owls scored 43 points there in the first half of play. And the clock there was stopped by the official. We're going to get things started already here in the second half of play.
Okay, as Charles Hetty inbounds it to Mark Beasy. Beasy on the dribble around Brandon Gibbons. Now passes it over to Clint Barmas on the left side in the wing. Alley-oop to Hetty, up and good. Great way to start the second half. Pretty pass from Barmas to Hetty. Lincoln starts the second half with a flare. As Acup's pass comes to Brandon Gibbons. Now back to Acup on the far side. Guarded by Mark Beasy. Again, the Owls come out in a tough zone defense. 2-3 zone defense. Halsey with the basketball now for the Wildcats. Acup around to Brandon Gibbons. Almost taken away by Beasy, or rather Barmas. As Acup dribbles now. Halsey running the baseline. Brandon Gibbons over to, McAleer back in the ball game now. He started the ball game for the Wildcats. Brandon Gibbons on the dribble. Picks it up. Good defense by the Owls. Good pressure defense. Well, not pressure necessarily, but good defense. Acup. And the Wildcats having trouble getting the ball in. They're trying to get it into the big man, DeAndre Gibbons. And as I say that, they do that. That's what they were working for. They got it. Gibbons with only his 10th point of the night. 45-21. Lincoln with a big lead with 6:40 to go in the third quarter. Nice shot by Cardinal. Too hard, though. Barmas has a rebound. He takes it back up and can't get it to go down, but he's fouled by the Wildcats. Look like it may be number 44, McAleer. No, 45. That'll be on Acup. 45-21. Lincoln with a nice lead as Clint Barmas goes to the free throw stripe. He has 6 points in the first half. His first time to the line tonight. Got it to go. Hit the front and the back and rolled in. Normally a 74% free throw shooter, 14 out of 19 on the year. Barmas, 6'1", 175-pound senior. Too hard this time, though. It's loose, has his own rebound. Comes back to Barmas. To Beasy, now to Hetty. Charles in three-point land. Backs it out against DeAndre Gibbons. Now gives it up to Derek Cardinal. He'll go to the bucket hard. Nice move by Cardinal, up and good. Cardinal with a nice move, and he picks up his 10th point of the night. 48-21 now. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. Bounce pass from Acup to Brandon Gibbons. Goes on the far side. Now to DeAndre Gibbons. Down low. Turn around. Puts it off the glass. And good. DeAndre Gibbons coming on strong here in the second half. He has 12 points now. Averaging almost 16 points a game. Beasy on the dribble for the Owls. Bouncing it to Lowe. Justin kicks it out to Derek Cardinal. Across the court. In the wing. Cardinal again to the bucket. Short jumper. Pretty but won't go down. DeAndre Gibbons ahead to Teron Acup. Acup stops in the right wing. Bounces into Brandon Gibbons. He has it almost stripped away. Goes up with a shot. Lays it in Charles Eddie's hands. And ahead to Beasy. Oh, great pass from Beasy to Barmas. Beasy for three. He feels it. He got it. Fifth three-pointer of the season for Mark Beasy. Great touch pass from Beasy to Barmas.
More of a punch pass, maybe.
Yeah, punch pass. Yeah. He touched it real hard. Halsey's pass to DeAndre Gibbons. It passes good, but the basket will not count. But he's fouled by the Alices. 5:09 to go, third quarter. Lincoln 51. Mount Vernon Wildcats 23. This is a Big 8 conference match. Lincoln 3-0 to Big 8. And the Wildcats 1-1 right now in Big 8 conference.
One thing, Mount Vernon, though, you got to remember, I mean, not that it'd make up the 28 points, but still, Kyle Funkhauser, one of the leading scorers for Mount Vernon, is inactive tonight, but I don't know if that would have made up for the points so far tonight for Mount Vernon.
We just traded turnovers. Shot by Acuff. It won't go down. McClear has the ball knocked out of his hands. It'll be given to the Wildcats with 4:55 to go in the third quarter. The Owls' coaching staff in the huddle down there. Gene Miller, Doug Crook, Don Allstott, and Steve Combs talking things over. As Acuff gets it in. No, he doesn't. Taken away by Hetty. Nice defense by the Owls. Really, the defense is one of the shining aspects of tonight's ball game. As I say that, it's knocked away. Barmas has it. Too low to Hetty. Jam it! Yes! Hetty. Second jam of the night. 16th point of the night for Sir Charles. 30-point lead. 53-23. 4.5 to go, third quarter. Lincoln on top by 30. Pass goes over to Teron Acuff. He'll fire from long. No good. Barmas has the rebound. Beasley ahead to Hetty. Do it again, Charles. Yes! 2 in a row. 18 points on the night for Hetty. 55-23. Here comes Acuff with the basketball for the Wildcats. Hetty putting on a show. Comes over to Brandon Gibbons. The Owls is all really doing very, very well tonight. Gibbons' pass goes to Acuff on the far side now, almost slapped away by Beasley. Acuff down low to DeRondre. He travels. So the ball will go back over to the Owls with 3:48 to go in the third quarter, 55-23. A fun game, Hank.
Yeah, we were talking about how before the game, Charles Hetty, not really non-existent, but just hadn't had a couple of real good games there after a while. I guess he's been holding it all up because right now he's played good, not only just with the dunks and everything, but great defensively. He's had a couple nice block shots. He's been all over the place for the Owls, but he's just playing a great game. Also, during the announcements, I guess we didn't hear it very well, but I was told that today's Charles Hetty's 17th birthday, so maybe that has something to do with it.
He's celebrating. I guess you could say he's playing a Hetty game, huh? Low, up, and no. Rebound by DeRondre Gibbons. Happy birthday, Charles. 17. Acuff on the dribble. Picks it up now, guarded by Cardinal. To Brandon Gibbons. He stops. Seifert, Charles Seifert in the contest. Brings it over to Teron Acuff. His shot in and out, no good. Hetty with a rebound. Wanted to fire it down to Cardinal. Wasn't quite open enough, though. Beasley takes it to Cardinal. And Derrick in the corner. To Lowe, turnaround jumper. Pretty shot by Justin Lowe. 11 points for Justin Lowe. 57-23. Lincoln putting on an offensive show here tonight. Hetty and company. As Acuff goes to the bucket. Taken away nicely by Clint Barmas. Dishes to Cardinal. Now to Lowe. Back to Cardinal. Out of bounds to the Wildcats as Cardinal goes into the Lincoln bench.
Nice save over there by the trainer, Brent Allenball. He almost got tackled there by Cardinal.
Yeah, and Shane Cooper helped out on that save, and Shane has a bad back, that's why he's not been able to play. That's not going to help his back any. But nice save, Shane. Here comes John Hyden into the contest now for the Alices. And Derek Cardinal gets a rest. Boy, doing that halftime game, the elementary school game, kind of wore my throat out. Really tough game. Nice win by the Vigo Bulldogs. As Weber's pass comes in to Teron Acuff. Slowly dribbles around. Really not a whole lot of time to do that, Mr. Acuff. 57-23, Lincoln on top into DeRondre Gibbons. A nice shot by Gibbons. He has 12 points. They're actually 14 points on the night, averaging 16. Definitely DeRondre Gibbons is a very good basketball player. Hyde now with the basketball from Mark Beasley to Barmas, now to Hetty. Charles guarded by Gibbons. Mark Beasley with the ball. Just about 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Nice dish to Lowe. Fakes the shot. Back out to Beasley. Round to Charles Hetty. He's not afraid to fire from three-point range. That just would be about what we need to cap the night off. Nice pass to Lowe. Up and good. I'd like to see Lowe put it through hard that time.
I'm not sure who's MVP really of the game tonight.
I hate
Just
to choose
Lowe
one.
or Charles Hetty, both of them playing a great game inside.
Yeah, and defensive MVP would have to go to Clint Barmas. Sub of the game would be John Hyden. But it's not over yet. Still a long way to go.
We still got another quarter to play.
Yeah. Minute and a half to go in this third quarter now. McClear's shot too soft, no good. Seifert has the rebound, and he'll put it up, and he got it to go. Charlie Seifert has 4 points on the night. 59-27. Lincoln 32 points on top, low with the basketball. To John Hyden. He's not afraid to take it to the bucket, but he passes off to Hetty. I'd like to see Hetty put a baseline move on Gibbons. Hyden around to Beasy, now to Barmas. Barmas, nice move, baseline, fakes the shot, back out to Hetty. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. In and out, no good. Hyden with the basketball. Ooh, is he fouled? He is hammered underneath.
Say what though, John Hyden, he's a tough guy. He'll be all right.
Oh yeah. But
the Boonville football game there, he took a cheap shot there at the end of the game. Got a slight concussion, but he shook it off, came back the next week. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
And Mitch Roth will be checking in for the first time, I believe, along with Dan Cleveland.
Yeah, first time we've seen Roth tonight. As Barmas and Hetty sits down. Great play by the entire Lincoln, the cast, I guess you could call it.
The whole Lincoln team just put out 110%. I think last week after the Jasper game, Coach Miller's happy with the win, but wasn't real happy with the way the team played and got them fired up. And tonight they're just playing a great game so far against Mount Vernon.
John Hyde at the stripe. 59% free throw shooter, puts it up and rings the rim, no good. 6'1", 180-pound sophomore. You can see his head snap back as he was fouled that time on that shot. His second shot from the stripe, up and good this time. 4 out of 5 from the line is John Hyden. Has 4 points from the field. Those both buckets came back in the second quarter. Brandon Gibbons bounces it down low to McCleary. Now around to Bart Weber. Weber bounces it over to Seifert. Back to Bart Weber. Under 30 seconds to go now in the third quarter. Three-pointer on the way by Seifert. No, too hard. And a push off underneath.
Yeah, DeAndre Gibbons gave Hyden a nice little shove there.
Gibbons got caught for the personal. Clock stopped at 26.7 seconds to go in the third period.
Oh, no, they're good. That's surprising. They gave it to Lowe, but I was watching the whole time down there, and DeAndre Gibbons gave Hyden a nice little shove there. I thought that's where they're going to hit the foul on.
Pass goes high to Gibbons, and Lowe with a nice block out of Gibbons. Nice pass from Roth. Back to Roth from Beasley. Good! Roth just into the contest, picks up a first bucket of the night. He had 2 3-pointers last week against Jasper. Nice pass into McClear, and foul by Roth. Speaking of Mitch Roth, just picked up his first personal foul. He had 2 3-pointers last week against Jasper. Mitch Roth did.
And those were key 3-pointers when the Allisons really couldn't hit much of anything, and Roth comes in and gets the 3-point buckets there at the end. It really helped him, and Clint Barmas really carried the team a lot last week, and that's mainly why they're still undefeated in the Big 8 Conference.
62-27. Lincoln on top in the third quarter with 8.8 seconds to go. It comes in to Brandon Gibbons. Ian hit a nice block by Lowe. Back to Gibbons' hands, though. And a hacking foul called. Is that Roth again? Yeah, I believe it is. Mitch Roth, 2 fouls in a row on Mitch Roth. That's the fourth team foul for the Alices. The Wildcats have 2, but 2.9 seconds to go, third quarter. Weber looking in to get, he does, to Gibbons, baseline 3-pointer, no good. That's the way the third quarter ends. Vincennes Lincoln Alices on top.
Gentlemen, do you know how great it would feel to receive a set of clean golf clubs for Christmas? Or a 96-piece Craftsman tool set? Or season's tickets to your favorite sporting event? Then you know how she'll feel with the gift of a sparkling diamond or precious stone jewelry from Joe Craft Jewelers, locally owned and located at 217 Main in the historic bank building. Joe Craft Jewelers, where elegance is priced within your reach.
Looking good isn't good enough when you're furnishing your home.
When shopping for home furnishings to make your home the one of your dreams, shop Cannon's Furniture at 14th and Lexington in Lawrenceville, where furniture is displayed in room settings. You will love the service, quality, and variety at Cannon's.
Only the best for you from Cannon. Cannon's Furniture. Only the best for you from Cannon's. Cannon's Furniture.
As we head into the final quarter of tonight's contest, the Alices with a commanding 62-27 lead. And as we mentioned, the Alices scored 19 points in that third period by holding the Wildcats to only 8. Great defensive effort tonight by the Alices. Weber with the basketball for the Wildcats. Bounces low in the corner to Seifert. Back to Weber. Double teamed out front by Cardinal and Hayden. Gets around them to McClear, and he got the shot. Jeremy McClear, first basket of the night from the field for McClear, has one from the free throw stripe. Hayden down court. Mitch Roth fakes the three. John Hayden will take the three. Top of the key. In and out. No good. Seifert scrambles for the rebound for the Wildcats. Gives it up to Bart Weber. Now back to Seifert. Almost loses it out of bounds. Good pressure again applied by the Alice's defensively. Weber fakes the three. And Brandon Gibbons gives it up to DeAndre Gibbons. His shot won't go down. Mitch Roth has the rebound for the Alice's. Down court over to Derek Cardinal in the wing. John Hayden will set things up now. 7 minutes to go in the game. Charles Heddy wide open. Let's fly. Got it. Pretty shot by Heddy. 20 points on the night. Charles Heddy, one above his average of 19. And we're just starting the fourth quarter. DeAndre Gibbons on a pass from Brandon Gibbons. His shot no good. Hayden with the rebound. Scoops it over to Mitch Roth. Nice pass to Heddy. Up and good. Heddy with 22 now.
They want for a big man. Heddy runs the floor real well. He's always out in front of the pack. I don't know if he's looking for the dunk, but he runs the floor real well along with his defensive presence inside.
He sure does. Bart Weber on the dribble. 66-29. Lincoln on top. 6:20 to go in the ball game. Brandon Gibbons bounces it back out. Now tries to get it in. It's loose. McClear's shot is blocked nicely by Charles Heddy. This is a Heddy night. Charles Heddy all the way. 17th birthday. John Hayden, nice dribble. Mitch Roth jumps, pumps, and nope, too hard, no good. Rebound McClear. Dishes it off to Bart Weber. 6 minutes exactly to go in the game now. Over to Brandon Gibbons. Down low to DeAndre Gibbons. He wants a nice defensive effort there by Mitch Roth. Not real tall, but real aggressive. Brandon Gibbons against Charles Heddy. And Bart Weber now with the basketball to Brandon Gibbons. 5:40 to go in the game.
These guards aren't used to having Heddy out top there in front of them.
Nice shot by Weber. Only his second three-point basket of the year. Hayden to the bucket. Nice one. Hayden now with 10 points, averaging 5.2 a game. All the Owls is really outplaying themselves tonight. This is one of the better nights for everybody on the ball club. Another three. It's good again. 2 in a row by Weber. 68-35 with 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Lincoln with a nice lead. Hayden now to Derek Cardinal. Into Heddy. Turns around. Too soft. No good. Seifert with the basketball for the Wildcats. To Brandon Gibbons. Nice dribble by Brandon to the bucket. He's tripped up. It'll either be on Cleveland or Heddy. 4:50 to go in the game. Lincoln 68. Mount Vernon 35. Heddy picks up his personal foul. That's only 2 on Heddy. Next game, the Owls travel up north to Terre Haute North on February 24th. That can't be right. January 24th. It says F on my schedule, though. Down low, DeAndre Gibbons up and good. He has 16 now. A little over his average of 15.9. Hyde with the basketball to Derek Cardinal. Free throw line. Three-pointer by Cleveland. He got it! My goodness, everybody's hitting tonight. That's Cleveland's third three-pointer of the year. His first bucket of the night from the field. He has one from the stripe. 71-37. Lincoln's highest score so far was 81 against South Spencer. Bart Weber with the basketball now for Mount Vernon. Brandon Gibbons faked the pass, double teamed out front in the lane, and he travels. Turns it over to the Alice's with 4:03 to go in the game.
My turnovers probably aren't official, but I have Mount Vernon for 20 turnovers in the contest.
You don't win many ball games that way.
That's true.
But again, that's another testimony to the tough defensive pressure by the Alice's. John Hayden with the ball for the Alice's. Crosses the 10-second mark to Charles Heddy. Heddy wanted to take the three. Now he's back in three-point land. Cross to Mitch Roth. Roth goes high for the pass. Back to Cardinal now. Derek Cardinal sets it up. Dribbles in the wing. Daniel Cleveland with the basketball now. Down low to Heddy. Nice one, up and good. 24 points for Heddy on the night. And I'm not sure what his game high is. He must be getting awful close to it, though. Seifert for three, got it. That's only his fifth three-pointer of the year. Basket up and good by Mitch Roth.
Yeah, you're talking about Hetty's high this year. I'm pretty sure it's 26 this year.
Okay, one more bucket. He'll tie his high. As Brandon Gibbons dishes low to DeAndre Gibbons. He'll put it home. 16 points, 18 points on the night for DeAndre. 75-42. Lincoln on top. 2:55 to go in the ball game. Daniel Cleveland, short jumper, got it again. Pretty shot by Cleveland. Boy, these Alice's really finding the range. 77-42. Lincoln on top with 2.5 to go in the game. Long pass to Seifert for three again. He's hot from there. Not this time, though. Cardinal goes high for the board for the Alice's. To John Hayden. Hayden across the free throw stripe. Mitch Roth for three. Can he get it? Nope. DeAndre Gibbons hauls down the ball. He hasn't been getting really very many rebounds for a big man. Seifert to the bucket. Oh, nice block by Hayden. Shot up by Brandon Gibbons, no good. Dan Cleveland pulls the ball down ahead of John Hayden. Hayden sees Hetty, jam it, Charles. Nope, can't get it. And he couldn't control the ball enough to put it away. 2:08 to go in the game.
Wholesale substitutions.
Wholesale subs for the Alice's. 77-42, 2:08 to go in the game, and the Alice's starting five sit down to a uproarious applause from the crowd. A very well-deserved round of applause. You see him there on the screen, standing, applauding, smiling, and cheering.
You got the two Roth brothers, and we've seen them play together. We've never seen them play together, but we've both seen them play this year. So this will be the first time they get to play together.
The brother combination, Todd and Mitch Roth. Todd, number 10, and Mitch, of course, 23. Both guards out front. That's kind of an unusual sight. Brothers side by side on the basketball court. Justin Lowe in there, also along with Craig Curzan. The ball almost taken away. And
yeah,
Roth.
They're both going after him out there.
Brothers are ganging up on him as many of the fans head for the exits.
Yeah, IU Purdue plays tonight, so by the time this is replayed, everybody will know the result of that game. And I'm sure a lot of people want to see that. A lot of people going home to see the end of that one.
But the Alice is still with plenty of time to make it the highest scoring game of the year. We're 77 now. The highest scoring game was 81 against South Spencer. Nice block by Loeb. Ahead to Roth. Mitch has it. And up and good. Nice scoop by Roth. Nice pass from Loeb. 79-42. One bucket away from tying the all-time high for this year. Long shot. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Ball's loose. Out of bounds to the Alice's. With 1:24 to go in the game. Outstanding offensive effort by the Alice's tonight, and also superb defensive effort. Dan Cleveland's pass comes into Todd Roth. He crosses the 10-second stripe. Nice block there by brother Mitch Roth. Round to Curzan. To Todd Roth. 1:10 to go in the game. Todd to the bucket. Stops, jumps, bumps. Too hard. No good. Too much adrenaline flowing that time.
Yeah, he wants to get his first varsity points.
I don't blame him. Down the court comes the Wildcats. Round the horn. Basketball is almost slapped out of the hands of Alan Waller. Shot is up and no good. Rebound Dan Cleveland. Under a minute to go. Todd Roth looking for someone to pass away to. He does to brother Mitch Roth, and he called for traveling. 50.6 seconds to go in the game. And the Owls has turned it over, but still with a 79-42 lead. But I want to see him tie that all-time high or break it. Here comes Waller again for the Wildcats down court. He stops between the circles, passes it down low, and shot goes up by Brian Branson, and it doesn't go in, but he's fouled from behind. So that stops the clock with 40.6 to go. Still gives the Owls time to put another bucket in. Branson, 5'10", 173-pound junior. He's 1 out of 2 from the stripe. Hasn't seen much playing time this year. He was shooting 2 and got it. First one. 79-43. Lincoln enjoying a nice lead here at Alice Arena. Branson's second shot, good also. Cleveland's pass comes into Todd Roth. Todd across the 10-second line, behind the back dribble. Bounces it over to Cleveland. Cleveland didn't see Krazan open in the corner for a minute. Dribbles around, almost taken away. It is taken away now by Waller. Here comes Allen Waller, stops, fakes, dishes it off, and a travel, I believe, is called. No, foul called. With 24 seconds to go in the game. 79-44. Lincoln picking up victory number 9 on the season, but just as importantly, maybe even more importantly, another Big 8 conference win. They'll be 9-2 in the Big 8 now. Shot up by Branson again. He's 3 for 3 from the line. And looking to make it 4 out of 4. Eyes the rim, puts it up, and no, too hard. Justin Lowe goes high for that rebound. Really skied over the rim. Todd Roth across the stripe. Bounces over to Dan Cleveland. Now Justin Lowe, turnaround jumper, got it! Justin Lowe has his 15th point and the 81st point of the night for the Owls, tying the all-time high this season. Game high. Shot up, no good. Roth fights for the rebound, and dual possession gives it back over to the Owls with 1.3 seconds to go. Long three-pointer here would do it. 81-45, Lincoln on top. Dan Cleveland inbounded to Todd Roth. He'll let it fly as soon as he touches it. There it goes. It's high. Nope, it's a little off the mark. That's the way the ball game ends. Vincennes Lincoln Alice is a convincing victory here tonight over the Mount Vernon Wildcats. The final score here from Alice Arena. The Alice is 81 and the Mount Vernon Wildcats 45. Congratulations to the Alice as they go to 9-2 on the season and 4-0 in Big 8 play. The Wildcats drop to 4-7 on the year and 1-2 in Big 8 action. So the final here from Alice Arena, the Alice is 81 and the Wildcats 45. Be back in a little bit to recap the scoring of tonight's contest and with an interview with Don Allstott, head JV coach and assistant varsity coach. So keep it right here on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Huge selection. Memmering Motorplex. Largest selection in southern Indiana. Your automotive supermarket. Quality selection and service. Just ask our customers.
I got the best deal at Memory.
We get the service that we need, and we're very satisfied.
When you come in the front door, everybody says hi to you.
It's always fair.
They have a big selection, and the people around here make you feel so good.
Memmering Motorplex, 1949 Hart Street, Vincennes, your automotive supermarket.
Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Fudzy, that was your cue.
Sorry, fellas, but it's shopping season at the Warner Brothers Studio store on QVC. If you can't blast them, join them. Right, fellas?
Tune to QVC for the Warner Brothers Studio Store.
Just watch, folks.
The Owls is picking up win number 9 of this 1996-97 basketball season by the score of 81-45 over the Mount Vernon Wildcats. And here is my partner in crime, Hank Lopez, to recap tonight's stats.
All right, scoring in the contest, DeAndre Givens led the Mount Vernon attack. He had 18 points. 8 of those were from two-point range, and he was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Then we had 3 players with 6 points. Teron Acuff had 6 points, along with Bart Weber had 6 points. Both of those were from three-point land, and 6 points for Charlie Seifert. Dropped off from there to 3 points for Jeremy McAleer, who had a 2-point field goal, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 3 points also for Brian Branson, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And 2 points for Brandon Gibbons rounds out the scoring. Only 45 points tonight for Mount Vernon. The Owls, on the other hand, score 81 and tied the record this year so far for most points in a contest. They were led by Charles Hetty, who had 24 points, and 6 of those were off of dunks. So Hetty played a nice all-around game, had 3 block shots in the contest, so did a great job all around for the Owls. Also in double figures tonight for the Owls, Justin Lowe gets his first start of the season and scores 15 points. Had 7 2-point field goals, 1 for 2 from the free throw line actually, and had 15 points. Then it was John Hyden, who had 10 points coming off the bench, 3 2-point field goals, and was 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 10 points also for Derek Cardinal, who had 5 2-point field goals. Clint Barmas chipped in with 7 3 2-point field goals, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 points for Mitch Roth, who came off the bench and had 3 2-point field goals, all in the second half. 6 points also for Dan Cleveland, who had a 2-point field goal, a 3-point field goal, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 3 points for Mark Beasley, who connected on a 3-pointer, and that rounds out the scoring for the Allisons, who come away with an 81-45 victory and move to 4-0 in the Big 8 Conference. They should be well on their way to winning the conference title this year.
One of the best chances we've had in a long time, Hank. We'll hope we can continue and take home that Big 8 title crown all alone this time. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit with an interview with Don Allstott. So keep it right here on Wabash Cablevision, Channel 23.
Wabash Cablevision presents the Cable Advantage Channel Home Show. Tune in every weekend to Channel 23 and view area homes for sale presented by local real estate companies. You'll also find helpful information on mortgage lending and financial services, as well as ideas for home improvement. The Home Show airs every Saturday morning at 9 and twice on Sunday at 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Don't miss the Home Show, presented by Wabash Cablevision on Channel 23.
All right, have you heard about Sega Channel?
A cable channel the whole family plays.
Dumps up to 50 super odd games on you each month.
All you need is cable TV.
Sega Genesis.
The Sega Channel adapter.
Sega Channel has mega new games. And if you know who calls you...
Call your cable company now to get it all.
Sega Channel. Unlimited on-demand play. Up to 50 different games each month.
For less
like
than
30 cents a game. They love saving money. And if you can't get your mom to call, there's always Dad.
Hey, I heard that.
The Owls is 85 and the Wildcats 45. With me now is Don Allstott. Congratulations, Don. Another fine victory.
It's good to be here again.
These kind of games are fun to watch and coach, aren't they?
We finally redeemed ourselves a little bit after Jasper game. You know, we came out, shot the ball extremely well. We were able to put our press on. And, you know, what was fun, though, the kids really distributed the ball, got the ball to the, shooter in the right position. You know, it was just real fun to watch. We had a lot of assists tonight by the kids. And, just an all-around good game for us.
They moved the ball very effectively, really well, and you had a different combination starting tonight's contest. You had two big men in there, Lowe and Hetty. What kind of plan was that?
We tried Lowe. Lowe's been looking real good for us in practice. He's been a monster on the boards a lot of times in games which he's come in. We thought we needed a little bit more help on the defensive boards as well as the offensive glass, and I mean, he got up there pretty well on one of those offensive rebounds. He came in, did his job, and the guys coming off the bench did their job as well. They come in, just the things that they can do. But, Justin has shown signs. We played him quite a bit on the JV last year, and he came up. And it's fun to see a kid, progress through our program and do extremely well. And hopefully continues with his success because we sure need him.
He's a big young man. He really crashes those boards well, like you say. And 205-pounder. He and Charles together are quite a dynamic combination.
They take up a lot of space in there. I mean, if we play a 2-3 zone or we went to a lot of 1-3-1 zones tonight, you get those big bodies out there and a lot of weight, and they throw around a little bit. And he clogs up the middle. Plus, we can get Chuck out there on the wings. And we're trying a little bit few zones here, try to push the ball up the floor. And, if those guys can manhandle the boards down there, we're able to do that, and that's why he was out there tonight.
We understand today is Charles Hetty's 17th birthday, and he really put on a show. 24 points.
24 points, and put on a few nice little dunks there. One in the first half I thought was real nice, going up over the top of those kids and just hammering that thing home.
Yeah.
And Gibbons, he got a few from Mount Vernon, so at least we got the price of admission watching a few dunks. That's what people like to watch.
And this is, of course, the highest game of the year for Justin Lowe. He had 15 points on the night. And he was averaging, coming into tonight's contest, averaging 2.7 a game, and now he ends up with 15 tonight.
Price scored what he has all season, I guess, with 15 points there. But, he's like I said, Dan, he's been working hard in practice. He's doing what Coach asked him to do. And, if you do that, things pay off for you, and Coach figures out a way to get you out there on the floor. And, hats off to Justin Lowe, and hopefully continues to progress.
Well, like I said, Don, I think it was an all-around effort tonight. Everybody played a fantastic game. One of the better games of the year for almost every man on your ball club. You had 4 men in double figures. Plus, I think that, of course, the offensive part of tonight was great. But the defensive part, you guys have forced more than 20 turnovers.
Yeah, we stepped it up defensively. I think, we're seeing a lot more zone presses as much as zone and a half courts. We don't play quite as much man. Maybe at games that here in the future, maybe you'll see us play a little bit more man-to-man defense. But we think our zones are paying off for us. Not quite as quick in the man-to-man. We don't seem to anticipate quite as much on the help side and things. So the zones, guys guarding certain areas, they seem to understand what they're roles are out there on the floor as far as that goes. And, you know, tonight they did an exceptional job here defensively. The last 4 minutes, you know, we struggled a little bit, gave a few layups. You know, kids, I think, were just getting out in passing lanes looking for steals. Sometimes that happens. You hope it doesn't because, you know, those kids playing there at the end are your future, and hopefully they carry that over. But, you know, overall, it was a very, very good job for us defensively.
All right, if you had to say one thing, Don, that the difference between last Saturday's 1-point win, 35-34 over Jasper, and tonight's 81-45 win, what would be the main difference?
I think, you know, a lot, you know, if we're able to put our presses on. You know, if we can put our presses on, which we get a few steals off that press, you know, I think that just ignites us. You know, our defense leads a lot of our offense. But if you can't score, you know, we didn't shoot the ball very well against Jasper whatsoever. And if you can't do that, it's very difficult to get press going, you know, and get in the flow of the game. You know, you may get a stretch there where I think we hit about 2 or 3 field goals in a row. But tonight, you know, you come out, you shoot the ball well, you get a press, get a couple steals here and there, and, you know, you get a couple kids get a layups, and they think they can shoot anything. And a lot of times it's just a confidence factor, and I think you saw that tonight.
Exactly, confidence. You can feel the flow. You feel the confidence exuding out of them tonight. Well, your JV ball club won again too. 54-38, head coach Don.
That was a do or die there for us because you know, Mount Vernon was undefeated in the conference. We lost a game to Boonville, and they happened to beat Boonville during the year. So you know, that's kind of our tournament. We really stress that to JV kids. That's our tournament games, the conference. So we're back in the conference race now for a big win for us.
Great, congratulations on your win too. Next week, Terre Haute North. What do you know about them?
They're, you know, a very good ball club. They're struggling a little bit here. It was late. You know, they'll run different presses at you as well. They kind of, you know, they're kind of a tempo ball club. They'll slow you down somewhat. The golf kid, you know, he's a good shooter on the outside and perimeter. I saw him play against, went up at the Holman Center when Terre Haute North, Terre Haute South played. Not quite as strong as teams they've had in the past, but they're very well disciplined and very well coached, and they'll cause us problems for sure.
Well, but I think the way the Alice is playing now, you have a much better chance of coming out on top than what 3 or 4 weeks ago.
We hope so. We hope we come back out, same enthusiasm, same confidence we had tonight, you know, and see what happens up there. Of course, we're going on the road now, which is a little bit changed. I mean, we've been playing here, it seems like all year long, so we got a doubleheader on the road, so we'll see what happens and see if we can't keep that going.
Okay, Don Allstock, congratulations on another fine victory.
Thank you, Dan.
Good job. Well, once again, the Alice's taking over the Mount Vernon Wildcats, same cat family. Lincoln 81 and the Mount Vernon Wildcats 45. On behalf of my cameraman Brett Rode, my statistician and color commentator Hank Lopez, this is Dan Ravelette saying thanks for your time this time. Till next time, good night, everyone.